What's good, everybody? I am Nicole Lerner, and you have now just tuned in to just started watching anime so that we can really get into this mess that is Burst Angel. Because, like, if you look up mess in the dictionary, like, Burst Angel is how you phonetically sound it out.
Off rip, favorite character is Joe. I said it earlier, said it again. Her story, her development, her being just a straight up badass of just like bang bang pow pow, but like oh wait, I gotta really back as the episode's going on. I'm like, there was actual development behind
It's like
Joe.
midway through the first half of the anime, they were like, "Oh shit, that's right, we are Western." Everybody in this episode, cowboys. Why?
Okay, all right. It was
like a. What's good, everybody? So glad that to be here. I am Nicole Lerner, and you have now just tuned in to just started watching anime. Now, if you're watching this later, you could be noticing the layout is a little bit different. We're trying some new things. We're trying some new avenues. We're testing out some new skills in life. But yeah, this is just started watching anime, and I'm Nicole Lerner. Now, as y'all know, before we get into it, I like to do something where we check on everybody. What's up, Dreamy Summer? She just popped it in the chat. What's up, homie? So before we get started on this anime discussion, I want to go to the homies and ask them, how they doing, what they got going on, and all that good stuff. Promote themselves at the beginning so that we can really get into this mess that is Burst Angel, because it is. It put the mess in mess. It's just the whole word. Like if you look up mess in the dictionary, like Burst Angel is how you phonetically sound it out. Like that's
phonetically.
That's where we at. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the order that's on my screen. So you got your government up here, you know what I'm saying? So but I'm gonna go ahead and call you Nisho. So Nisho Soul, how are you doing, friend? What you got going on? What's happening with you?
I'm doing great. Google just is not letting my nickname prosper, so that's where I'm at with it. For those watching on the first time, what's happening? I am Mike, aka Nisho Soul. Pardon stuffiness, allergies kick my ass. Other than that, I've been good. Really been on the Twitch game a little bit heavier than usual. Just building up the stream. I've been chopping it up with like several streamers. Shout out to my guy 06 Chris. We've been helping with the Twitch journey so far. So that's really where I've been at. If anybody wants to follow, twitch.tv/Nisho Gun instead of Nisho Soul. I just be gaming and talking shit. That's really it. That's where I'm at. Yeah, and then other than that, we watch madness inducing anime like Burst Angel, so that's where I've been. That's everything, but
yeah, man. Since I am gonna be getting killed this entire episode, let's just get some positivity out of the way. A couple days ago was the 1 year anniversary of Whisper dropping. So if you haven't got it, Whisper is my first novella. Came out last year, did really well, so you can go get that on Amazon. Just released a new episode of Clueless Vino today with Michelle Lewis. We talked about diversity and inclusion, nonprofit, and a lot of self care. Man, that was also good. We also realized that Bruce Wayne is Derek Jeter. So go watch that episode. And, we're still writing. We're still writing. So hopefully a new book will be out maybe by the end of August. So be on the lookout for that as well.
That's what's up. I actually listened to the episode today, and it was very good, y'all. So make sure y'all go check it out. All right. As for me, I'm doing all right. I don't have anything going on besides this kind of stuff. So make sure you follow the Just Started Watching Anime. Follow us on Instagram. I'm gonna start working on that again. So follow us on there to be updated with everything. And I be on here on Twitch, or if you're watching this later, I be on Twitch Sunday nights at 9 p.m. We just be kicked back and relaxing. I don't play games because I'm a lame. So like we just be chilling, maxing and relaxing. And then Thursday nights, we also will be chilling, maxing and relaxing at 8 p.m. watching some nature videos, maybe doing some freestyling. We just gonna be hanging out, doing what we do. And then as far as that goes, the Cola and Soap podcast, we're about to come back for our 5th season. We're recording our first episode of the 5th season tomorrow, so y'all probably get it next Thursday, yeah. So be on the lookout for that. And with that said, it's time to get into the madness. It's time to get into the badness. Dreamy says she's not a gamer either, which, hey, solidarity with all my non-gamers. We out here, you know what I'm saying? Doing the dang thing. So, Burst Angel. Burst Angel was an anime suggested to the squad by the guy in the middle, Stig Braxton here. Spoiler alert. Even though, as Stig pointed out, I usually don't really spoil too much. Like, the spoilers come later. But just so you know, this is when the spoilers start. So if you want to watch this anime for some reason, you want to torture yourself, this is the time to stop watching, even though I don't think it would affect you at all.
God damn.
I don't think it will. So yeah, Burst Angel is an anime, and it is about 4 young women that are kind of, what's the word for, I know y'all know this word, they're like mercenaries, but that's not the word I was thinking of. I was thinking vigilantes. That's the word I was thinking of. But in this case they're more mercenaries, but the vigilante word is what I was thinking of. But so they're kind of the good guys, but they also they're the good guys that get stuff done by any means necessary type stuff. So it's hard for me to give a synopsis on this one because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little lost. So they fight these robots. They fight robots with robots. They're in Tokyo, which is overran with gangs and stuff, and then of course there's somebody trying to take over the city and control everybody in the city, and then they're hired to do whatever they're hired to do. They hire some kid who is completely unrelated to the story, but he's there, and and there's a beautiful lesbian relationship tied in the mix. They fight robots, and they eat a lot of food. And I mean, like most animes, there's some badass chicks from the Far East, and they be out here kicking ass, and they try to be good people. And I think the moral of the story is getting closer to, the whole thing is them getting closer to their purpose. I don't know though, because I just don't know. So with that said,
wow, that synopsis was that's a Nobel Peace Prize.
Thank you.
Synopses are on point. God damn it! You've been doing enough anime now that you summarized a lot of shit very
Nisho,
well.
I need you to stop lying to me, but I appreciate you hyping me.
I'm bullshitting. I went back on some of the older ones. Man, Nick really didn't spoil a lot of the plots for the stuff we were watching. I'm like, damn, that's decent.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It makes me feel good. You don't know how good that makes me feel. But yeah, as you can see, I got my red light in the background. This is in honor of the Burst Angel. I usually don't do red, but this is for them.
Why?
Oh,
Why is red?
because that was like the cover art or something. Like it was like had this red, and then like
Yeah.
Shorty had the red jacket. Joe, she had the red jacket. Red was like, for some reason, that's the thing I remember about the anime. I tried. So
Anthony Hamilton. I tried. I tried.
I tried. Um.
Ooh. Yeah.
So, to start this conversation off, because we all have questions we like to contribute to these conversations. So I'm gonna just start this off with my first thoughts when I watched the first episode, and I was just
Okay.
confused. I was like, I just saw robots fighting, and I was like, what in the Power Rangers, Optimus Prime Transformers is this? Like, and I was like, this is kind of my speed, maybe. And then after that, I didn't. Everything else was just a blah to me.
Ah.
It was. I definitely it. Mm, they definitely made an effort more than some animes. I'm just gonna stop there because I don't want to start too soon with the bashing. Okay, so Stick, if you could explain yourself and let us all know why you suggested this to us. What did we remember how you were asking Nisho? What did we do to him? What did we do to you?
Deja vu, my good sir. Unfortunately.
No, nobody's more hype about this than Nisho. This is all part of his revenge plot.
I was like, oh, the anime has Angel in it. Confusing ass plot. We were trying to figure out what it was by the end. Oh, this is beautiful. All right. Stick. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so I watched this Angel when I was probably in high school, maybe. Um, so, and at that point, I wasn't getting. I was mainly a Toonami guy, so I got most of my anime from Toonami. So a lot of the animes that are in my top are usually ones from Toonami, early Toonami, whatever. Um,
Okay.
so I did start to try to venture out to find new anime, and I happened to stumble upon Birth Angel,
Okay.
and I feel like you can kind of get a glimpse of why a teenage me was drawn
Mhm.
to this anime. Um, what I will say is I am drawn to strong like female characters, like badass female characters.
Mhm.
And so when I saw it was a group of women, I'm thinking it's gonna be four badass women.
Mhm.
Ironically, I was only 25% correct.
I feel like 35% because young Amy didn't get all of her shine.
Yeah.
She
We,
didn't
we
get
can
all
get
her shine.
into like the
Mm.
the way the other characters were used at later, but
Okay.
let's be honest.
Okay.
This was about Joe and Joe alone.
Oh,
Thank
facts.
you. Thank you. That was
Facts.
literally it. That was my first note that I put. I was like, Joe, yes. That's literally it. She was the most interesting character from episode 1. Easy.
Mhm.
It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close, actually.
I agree, and I think I definitely can see why a young Stig Braxton um would want to watch this show. We all watch things that don't make sense because they have
Yeah.
when we're younger, we're just looking for things, those small things, like you said, the powerful
They weren't
women.
small. The way they drew them was not small. Let's just be honest with
I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
They drew them out of proportion. Let's
Oh,
put it
for
this way.
sure. It was a
that's
pinup anime, if that's even a thing.
Yeah.
what crazy. It's pinup anime. That's literally it. Like,
Like it was like an after school special, except like every 5 minutes I could see somebody draws or somebody nipples, just like it's just like
It was an after school special, but school ended at like midnight.
Exactly.
It was literally BET uncut for anime.
It was like after you get out that GED class. Not shading nobody in GED.
Yeah.
Shout out
Shout out
to
to people who got
you.
the GED, but that's hilarious.
No, don't
Yeah,
fucking.
bro. It's like because you still young and you not that older people, but I mean like for the younger kids, the younger people who go back to school and get their GED. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, and you're still into like this kind of stuff, and you know you're old enough to be watching movies just flap around all in front of you in the screen. But yeah, the way they were drawn was very, like you said, out of proportion, very busty. You know,
Mm-hmm.
very busty. All right, all right. So, I told y'all what my question is, but I kind of want to wait a little bit till we talk a little bit more about the anime because I feel like it's kind of a broad question, and everybody's answer could be different.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we can go ahead. And I'm putting Stick on the spotlight again because I'm feeling animosity towards you.
I feel you. No, I'm on the stand. I feel you.
All right. So what is
I'm
your
here to defend, bro. I'm here to defend.
what is your question for the group?
Okay, so my biggest question, and it really comes from it's similar to Nisho's take a DN Angel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's how we view things originally and how we view things as we get older, right?
Mm.
So again, like I said, younger me is like, okay, I know why I'm drawn to the show. The one of the reasons I was drawn to the show. But now as I got older, I'm looking at this show and I'm like, man, there was no point for any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have been fully dressed, and I would have been like, oh, okay, this show still makes no sense. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I guess my question was, and you've seen enough, Nick, now where it's like, how do you feel about the sometimes over-sexualization of
Ooh.
female characters in these shows? Because to me, if you ever notice one thing about this show, no one ever says how old these girls are.
Yeah.
That's a good catch.
The plot says that the girls are between 11 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
I see some of the stuff that Amy's in, and I'm like, Sam, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit aggressive. And then I think Say is supposed to be the oldest one, but she can't be crazy old.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
And Joe and Meg are like probably teenagers too. So like, how do y'all feel about characters being like I said, being over sexualized in anime? Like, there's a point for some of it. Like Kill la Kill had a point,
Mm-hmm.
right? Kill la Kill had a point, but this one had none. It was simply for fan service. And what do you think about fan service in anime?
Ooh.
Well, the fan service thing, I'm still even though I understand the concept of it, I get it. I'm still experiencing the fan service. So I feel like I can't really give a really fully thought out opinion on that because like it's like me because I'm coming into a room that I'm not really used to being in. So that's one of those things where I don't want to rock the boat because I really don't know what I'm talking about just yet. I need like another year in the anime game, I feel like, before I can like come out here and have a view on that. But I will say because I was watching a few episodes with Kay, and he explained like the beach fan service or the volleyball episodes or something like that to me.
Oh my god!
and he was like
that was in my notes. Like,
yeah.
This is peak surface. I was like, dog, this episode means nothing. This is only for the little teenage boys.
That's
yeah, he explained that out to me because he was like, I hate these beach episodes. Like I usually skip them, and I was like, what does that mean? I was like, is that just because they just be running around in bathing suits the whole time? And he's like, pretty much. And I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, so like, see, for me coming in, I'm like, I don't really give it like too much thought because I figured that's just a part of anime culture. So it's like
Mm.
I don't know whether I should feel some type of way or not, or just like accept it. I don't know. But as far as the sexualization, the over sexualization, um it's a little bit much for me sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. And I think that's why I prefer more of, like, the shows that we watch, like The Promised Neverland, The Death Note.
Mm.
Tokyo Ghoul has some sexualization, but it was more like the innuendos more than anything. And but like the overt, just like we're gonna draw these like big old, titties, and like we're gonna have the unnecessarily just half dressed. Not that there's nothing done like wrong with that, but you could tell it's kind of done from a man's perspective, and it's just it's a lot for me. And it does seem like, I mean, I see people talk about some of the newer animes that's coming out in the last couple of years, and they seem to do a little bit better with it than the older ones, from what I noticed. Um, uh, but I will say what I think of, what I feel about it is that it is a lot for me. Even in Kill la Kill, even though there was a point that was like the only part of the anime that still had me like, eh. Because it's like I can't get over the fact that this kid is a kid, just like you said, like the ages of the people in Birth Angel. Because like at one point, and somebody does refer to them as teenagers, like
Mm.
I forget, I think it was a dude that worked on the robot, and he was like saying something like, I'm not a teenager like you, I can't just like leave my job or something like that. And
Right.
so they're
Leo.
definitely teenagers, and to like know that about them, and just still have them out here in like what are those things that cowboys wear, the chaps, just chaps and underwear. It's a lot. And I mean the anime is bad without it, and it would have been even with it, it was still bad and just poorly just structured, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that was my take. Nisho, what about you?
Like you covered a lot of it because that like a lot of what you said is very common for a lot of anime. And like Stick was saying earlier, a lot of this we're discovering in high school. So the first thing we're gonna notice is, oh, titties, animated titties, animated unrealistic proportions. Oh my god! But then you get older and you're realizing the smaller things that contribute to, like, oh, this might have been animated by a man. This might have been written by a man. Like
Mm.
big example is Nick, I don't know how familiar you are with Naruto. Like, I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've definitely watched it, but I'm not super familiar with it.
So this is like one of the most infamous examples in anime. Like the author openly stated he does not know how to write female characters.
Okay.
So that should say a lot about what every other person who writes anime or even animates anime says about their approach to sexualization of women characters. Like that's really what I'm looking at it as. I'm like, it it can be done in a tasteful way, but there hasn't been a tasteful example at all yet. So
Yeah.
it's a very thin reality of it being viable. But for me, I'm like, it's become so commonplace to see it that I can't see a realistic use of like that sexualization. And then like it's a whole other thing with like the age of consent in Japan. That's a whole different thing entirely. So I guess that's why they keep gearing it to like 16 and 19-year-olds, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, big wallet. That's the main point. Bottom line, big wallet.
So, question, because it's kind of a thin line, because we are as we've gone further into 2020s and stuff, we're more into the body empowerment, women empowerment with their bodies.
Right.
So is there a way to look at it that way? Because these girls are, dressed in that certain way, but they are still like badass. It's not like, well, not all of them are damsels in distress, but they're able to still kick ass or whatever. Now, granted, this was in 2005, so we know for a fact that's not what this is. However,
Yeah.
stuff like Kill, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I would even say Sailor Moon was like that because even though the Sailor Moon transformations, they were supposed to be like, oh, they're, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
they weren't. They still embodied this empowerment for like a female. So I feel
Okay.
like you said, there's tasteful ways to do it, but this was not it.
I mean, Burst Angel should have given it away from the name. I'm
It
just
really should have. It really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot your question in that. Your question was, oh, the women empowerment. I mean, with this one, there's it's just too outdated. It's too all over the place, and there's no
You
like
can just
at
see
least, huh?
you can just see what they were doing, what they were going for.
Yeah, like they were going for soft porn, like pretty much, as like compared bringing back up the same anime that we just talked about, Kill la Kill. Like there was a point. There was the show had a purpose. Like there was a clear mission. There was a clear goal, and it was you didn't doubt what Ryuko's like purpose was. You didn't doubt why she was there or why the other characters were there. Like the other characters even had a purpose, and then the fact that they made you know I was gonna say they made their her and Mako's relationship so strong, but I guess they kind of do that in Burst Angel too, which is kind of like the one of the only saving graces of the show. It's just like, oh, but yeah, I think some shows have the ability. Sailor Moon, I can't comment on because I've never liked Sailor Moon. Sorry, y'all, I could never get into it. It's just not my thing.
oh,
And
fight.
but yeah, I mean, I think everything has the ability to be flipped and interpreted a certain way with age. Depending on who's the viewership, who's the fan. But stuff like this, nah, for the reasons we've already touched on. What about you, Stick? Do you? Well, you already said your opinion on that. Never mind. So, Nisho, what about you? Do you think, with time passing, some Burst Angel could be viewed as like a woman empowerment kind of?
I will argue this though. If we're looking at it strictly from like Joe's character development, yes. If we're looking at it through the lens of who are these four ladies? Why are they half naked? Where do robots come from? Why does this guy in episode 22 have fucking lucha mask? Like, no. Like, oh my god, so much random shit in this anime. We'll get into it, but like back to the initial question, like if we're going strictly from character development in a lot of anime, there are so many cases you can make for why women empowerment will be such a dope thing. But it's gonna be overshadowed by the fact that titties are just blatantly out and
All of
everyone just all out and open shit. But like it's cater, like we know who the audience is catering to. We know it harkens back to what someone said to me about DNA Angel. It's almost as if you're finding puberty. So
yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's really it. I really can't say for the future, but if they're talking on a character development scale, then yeah, I'd say Levy out.
For sure. All right. Well, we got it. Look at us. We did it 2 animes in a row. We got it. Had a little deep thought, thing serious going on. Look at us.
Downhill for me.
Oh, we look. We come out ready for this shit to go downhill. Let's go.
All right. So the next Nisho, what's your question for the group?
Yeah. I actually sent this to you, Nick, but I think this will be applicable here because like y'all actually brought up a good lead into my question. Like y'all brought up how Kill la Kill emphasizes like how Ryuko and Mako's relationship developed and how like Tokyo Ghoul didn't explicitly go for like sexualization and shit, but the main thing I got was like, Nick, I'm glad you broke this down earlier. Like, Kill la Kill had a straight up plot. Death Note, straight up plot. Dean Angel, hold on, let me see.
Dean
Dean
Angel had a
Angel,
plot. We gotta give it. It was a shaky one.
It did.
Dean Angel.
It did.
Okay, all right. It was
like
an
a. It was like a. That was the plot.
But like, out of everything we've collectively seen, Dean Angel, Burst Angel, and Space Dandy, the revelation recently came to me that those kind of felt more like anthology anime versus like straight up, here's point A, here's plot, here's how we get to point B and then the plot. So my question was, do y'all feel like anthology series like your Burst Angels or Space Dandy or God knows how many, do y'all feel like those are like an underrated genre, like looking at anthology style anime?
I don't have enough samples to go off of that. Yeah, I don't have a sample pool big enough to comment on that. Not in the anime world. Anyway, I can say from like a just general TV series.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please. Yeah.
Or any other cartoon where it's kind of like, I didn't know that was a term for it, so I just learned something new. Anthology based, I guess, when like each episode has its own kind of point and stuff.
It's self-contained, I think. Like Stig, I think you're more familiar with it. It's like every episode is like self-contained instead of like a part of a bigger story.
So yeah. So I think so like you said, like each episode is like kind of standalone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I think it is an underrated genre. One of the things that I've recently picked up, right? And I've always said it, like when people talk about, oh, what's the GOATs of anime? They'll say Naruto, or they'll say Dragon Ball Z, or they'll say Bleach. They'll say these animes, right? These are animes that stretch for like 5+ seasons, right?
15.
Right, seriously. But what happens is the animes that are, like Nisho said, more anthology based get like overshadowed. And we've seen good anthology based ones. Samurai Champloo, for example, is technically an anthology based anime, where there is a central plot. There's a central plot, but for a lot of the episodes, it's in the background. It's still happening, but it's these standalone episodes are the bridge to that central plot. Space Dandy was like that too.
Mm-hmm.
The best of those typically give us enough breadcrumbs early to know what's going to happen or can lead us to where we're going. And that's why stuff like Burst Angel, DNA and Angel like suffers, because you're not given enough breadcrumbs early to be able to determine where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I would even say Death Note. Is Death Note anthology? Nah, not really.
Oh, no.
Death Note's plot was from beginning to end.
Exposition all the way with Death Note, and then it hooked up like
for sure.
There weren't random robots and aliens and politicians, but
Right. But there are other anime that we had that I've watched, you've watched the show, and that we'll probably watch eventually during this, this pod or whatever, where, like, for example, in Nisho, Trigun, there's a central plot to the show.
Yes.
But there's so many episodes in between that where they're bridging it to the final few episodes, right? So I think, I do think it's underrated because a lot of those animes get overshadowed as time is going on because people like let's tune into next season or whatever. And a lot of these animes only have one season. And so, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think if I went with that thought process, if I had more to base my opinion on, I would say they're underrated because, like y'all said, like it's harder for people to follow when there isn't like a clear something every episode is working towards. Where, like you mentioned, Samurai Champloo is an anthology, and the thing that made it link is that you knew that they were going to meet the samurai, the sunflower samurai, and like even giving Space Dandy some credit here, you knew that the bad bitch gorilla monkey wanted to catch Dandy. Like that was like the linking thing.
No, look, that's why I wasn't there for the goddamn episode.
You knew that he wanted to catch Dandy, or they, because we don't know the gorilla's pronoun. Huh?
Right.
We don't know.
how.
We don't know how homie identifies. So like that helped loop everything together. So at least you kind of stuck around it, but like, oh, is he gonna ever catch Dandy? You know what I mean? So if I had more to base, I would say yeah, stuff is underrated. Before we go on to the next part, I want to shout out to Doom Uzi in the chat. Right at this moment, we cannot check out the anime opening that you have, but if you drop the link in the chat, I will check it out. And if next time you catch me on stream, I will definitely play it out and talk about it with you for sure. So yeah. All right, on to my question.
Here it is, the bottle.
What the hell is this anime about? What is Burst Angel about? What is it about? What? I know Stick said we gotta wait till the end. I waited till the end. I did. I made it to the. I mean, I kind of zoned out on some stuff, so I might have missed some parts. But I made it to the end. And at the end of it, Joe slaps the hell out of Meg. You know what I'm saying? Something she was deserving. Not that I believe in violence or condone violence, but that girl was doing a lot. And, you know, she was running, you know, trying to stop Joe from pursuing her mission. And Joe was like, night, night. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm only talking about this because we're talking about a TV show, guys. I would never talk about like this in real life. So this is the anime. So, you know, Nicole does not condone domestic violence or any kind of violence. I don't. Y'all know me. I don't play that shit. Yeah, only we'll talk about that off stream. But yeah, I still couldn't figure out. I think what I came up with is that it's about staying true to yourself and pursuing your purpose and not going with the status quo. And at the end of the day, if my COVID vaccine turns me into a robot, there's still a chance that I could I could override it because I'm human.
Jesus.
So that's what I got.
This anime was 16 years in the making, apparently.
That's what I got from the show. And it's kind of like a love. No, it's not a love story. They tried to put some romance in there, but not really. They failed. The anime really starts at episode 13. So if you would like to know when it starts, you can start there.
What is up with that, by the way? Why do some animes only start at episode 13? What is up with that? Seriously.
Because maybe somebody who was managing the project in the middle was like, all right, whoever, you're fired. And they put the next lackluster person in charge that at least tried.
Right.
Sorry if I'm talking down on anybody who put work in, because making animations is a lot of work. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to be knocking nobody, but it wasn't that great.
Was terrible.
Oh yeah, the animation was all right. The writing was the bad part. Yeah. So
What? Sega?
Nisho's gonna give his So, I very quick question before we answer.
Okay.
Do you want to know what the anime was about or the moral of the anime?
Both.
Okay. Nisho, you go first.
Well, with that amount of fuck was the moral of this anime? Like, seriously, I'm like, because what I got from it, like, I think it was like episode 4. Somebody touched on it earlier. I was like, is Meg the damsel in distress every episode?
I mean,
Bob,
yeah,
like,
that was her purpose.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, because it clicked. I'm like, all right, Joe's the emergency button, Meg's the damsel in distress, Amy's the brain, Say's the leader, and what's his face is clearly out of Food Wars and got jumped into this anime. I'm like, come the fuck on. Like, what is this? Like,
Yo, I think that's one of the best jokes you've ever had, Nisha.
That's fire.
no,
That was,
I'm not bullshitting. My note was episode 1. Main character bland as fuck should have been in Food Wars. I'm like, who is this kid? Like
Y'all know,
he had
y'all,
no, what you saying that?
no, I didn't mean to cut you. I was just gonna say, y'all want to know my nickname for the dubbed version of him? Guess what my nickname for the dubbed version, the English version of him?
I don't know. We're live streaming, so be careful.
It's Daisuke Pickles. Cause tell me he don't sound like a mix of Tommy Pickles and Daisuke.
No.
I don't want to cook. You gotta make how many?
No. Shit. Oh my god, that was good.
That is awful.
Nah, stick. No. Now that we finally talking, this motherfucker had me dying because I was sitting there like, bro, not Daisuke. Shit, now you got me calling him Daisuke. Damn it. Like,
I mean, Kyohei.
Kyohei, there we go.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to Stick. I was like, dude, Kyohei's voice actor sounds like a Gonta from Dead Man Wonderland. And he was like, I think it is. And I was like, bro, Gonta got more balls than this motherfucker. I'm like, are you serious? Like, are you serious?
Bro, you don't even understand, bro. Like when he started talking, immediately I was like, oh, I forgot. I hate this nigga.
Yeah.
Can I say that? My bad. I hate this man, bro. It was the word.
Jesus Christ. Hold on. Like, it was one more thing I had. Oh, like, speaking of the random voices, like, it was one point before episode 13, like, everybody was a cowboy all of a sudden. I was like, where did these country ass sounding motherfuckers come from?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get that Takarada fella. I'm like, wait. So it went from robots to aliens to Western. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know? Osaka is just Texas. It's Japan, Texas.
Pretty much. Same place.
doing this shit.
You know what's funny? I even went because I do know that people in most countries, like people in southern Japan, like the rural parts, they do talk a little bit slower. So I went back and forth between the sub and the dub on this series. So when I went back and I went to go watch to see if like even if they had like the kind of country drawl of like, you know, people from rural areas in Japan, it wasn't there. They still sounded like the rest of the characters. And I was like, no, like, what? Who, when they did this dub, who made this decision? Because it was not a good one, and the country accents weren't even real country accents. It's like it was like people pretending to have country accents for no reason.
Oh God, I know I wasn't the only one that noticed. Jesus.
It's like midway through the first half of the anime, they were like, "Oh shit, that's right, we are Western." Everybody in this episode, cowboys. Why?
Wait,
why?
Like, it was one more random ass thing I noticed, and I had to make a note of this. It was like, I think episode 11. Like, somebody randomly quoted Duke Nukem out of nowhere. Hail to the king, baby. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I
what is
completely
this?
missed that.
No, I didn't had a game in like years at that point. That's what's crazy.
I had to pause when I heard that. I was like, this motherfucker did not just quote Duke Nukem. Hail to the king, baby. I'm like, did somebody just like have a big dartboard on the wall of like ridiculous ideas for Burst Angel, and they just hit every dart on the wall and threw it in the anime? Like,
That's what it feels like.
Because that's what I feel like the plot of it is. Like, there is no plot. It's like, how much insane shit can we cram into 24 episodes?
They
Like,
used a
that's
random word generator for the series. Like they was just like, let me just like it just see how many words we can fit in this.
Nick, well played. I see what you did there. I see what you
One of the episode, one of the jumps was like mechanical crow theft. Let's just have mechanical crow steal women. I'm sorry, what? What? What?
It's like, what is this? What am I watching? But we got a little topic. So Nisho, what is the anime about? What is the moral of it?
Apparently, a disjointed anime like Burst Angel can still make you watch for 24 episodes. That's what I got from the anime.
Okay.
I don't know if that's much of a moral, but that's what I got from it.
Okay. Now I'm hoping Stick is the saving grace. You know, he can make some sense out of all of this. I'm kind of sad Kay isn't here for this part because I feel like he would have something very.
That's right.
Kay is unhinged, but he's not here. So, Stick, you know, be the voice of reason here. Let us know what the anime is about, and the point, the purpose, the moral. What is it? The people want to know.
Just the people want to know.
The people. Jesus. I did it for The Rock.
No.
I did it for
Oh man.
Okay. So here's what I got from the anime.
Oh my god.
This anime is about. What is this anime about? No, this anime is about what a lot of anime is about, bro. And it's the government is always fucking shit up.
I mean,
All right, wait for a minute.
Really think about it. Really think about it. This whole thing started because they created a new police task force, right?
Okay.
That police task force was doing experimental things with like different people.
Okay.
They kept putting like brains of people into other and experiment on humans. The government ended up being behind the entire thing at the end. Politicians were killing other politicians to take over. And then they tried to build a system where instead of arresting the criminals and try to reform criminals, they just kill criminals.
Mm-mm.
And what is that but the government what's a conspiracy? That's what it's about. It's about fighting government conspiracy. Typically I don't like animes that end up like that because like well, fortunately for this one, there was never like a main villain for the entire anime and then it switched to the government. But this one it ended up just being the government. Yeah. So the moral of the show is always carry a gun? I don't know.
stay strapped in these streets.
Always strapped when I hit the club.
Strapped in.
Women give me daps. Dudes give me hugs. You know the song. you know how the song goes. There really is a moral to the story, man. Because to have a moral to the story, you have to be trying to tell me something, and you didn't really tell me anything.
Yeah.
You got to do too many different things at once.
All right. So before we go into the wrap up of all this, what do y'all think would have saved the anime? Like, what could they have included?
A good stick, a plot.
A plot.
Better writers.
Better writers and a plot.
Okay, that was shorter than I thought. Okay, so between Space Dandy, DNA Angel, and Burst Angel, you're locked
Dandy.
in a. Wait, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Okay.
You're locked in a place, and you
Uh-huh.
have to watch this one show for 365 days straight. Which one
Yep.
are you watching?
Space Dandy. I
Oh.
didn't stutter.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I got my question all the way out there. Nisho, what about you? Which one you watching?
Watch this shit for you. God, no. I mean, admittedly,
365, 24/7, the same show over and over again.
I mean, I've talked on my fair shit about it, but like, I'd pick Burst Angel.
Wow.
Okay.
Really? Can you explain why? Is it the action?
Is it the titties?
I was trying to keep a straight face to stick with the Nick is the titties. Like, because as wild as Burst Angel was, I couldn't look away. I think that was mainly because of Joe.
It sounds like it's titties.
Like, it was mainly because of Joe.
All right, people, we had to take a little breaky break, but we are now back. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this time to tell you, because I forgot to say it in the beginning, to join our Discord. It is the biggest anime club ever. Yes, we have big dreams, people. So if you would like to join the biggest anime club ever, wherever you watching this video, the link will be in the bottom of it, somewhere in the caption. So join the Discord. Whether you're new to anime, you need to find something new to watch. Whether you've been watching anime for a long time and you just want to come in there and just, be dropping all your anime knowledge because you're a guru, or, you just, maybe you're into anime games and you want to share that with people and stuff like that, or maybe you just want a cool bunch of people to just hang out with. You can come and lurk in the Discord. It's okay. Just don't be on no wild, stupid stuff. And it's all good. So make sure you join the Discord. And with that said, it's time for everybody's favorite part of this whole discussion, this whole shindig. So this is where we rate the animes on how watchable how watchable is Burst Angel on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. Now, 1 star means that, you'd rather watch grass sway in the wind, which is a fun hobby to have. And then 5, yeah, we all holding up the 5. Nisho.
No.
Okay, single lady. 5 is the bombest shit ever, and everybody should watch it. We've given out a 5. Well, I've given out a 5. I don't remember anybody else's ratings, but I given out a 5. 2 5s, yeah, to Death Note and Promise Neverland, I think.
Season 1. Yep.
Season 1. Got to make the distinguish. We got a distinction. That's the word I'm looking for. Got to make that distinction. So yeah, we base our ratings off of, lots of things: animation, music, writing. Writing is probably the biggest one. And also, we did something last time that I actually kind of like doing at this part, which is everyone sharing their favorite character and their least favorite character. And for this one specifically, because I feel like we've bashed it enough, if you have a favorite episode, I would like y'all to share your favorite episode out of the series. So Nisho, we're gonna start with you. All right, friend. So let us know your favorite character, least favorite episode, and what you rate the anime.
Alrighty. Off rip, favorite character is Joe. Straight up. Like I said it earlier, said it again. Her story, her development, her being just a straight up badass of just like bang bang pow pow, but like, oh wait, I gotta really back as the episode's going on. I'm like, there was actual development behind Joe. I fuck with it. Now, surprisingly enough, my other favorite character was Sei, the oldest one.
Okay.
I fuck with her too. Like she leveled out Joe more than I feel like Meg did. I mean, at least in my opinion, at least from what I saw, it was like, look, no, but I want to shoot, no, like, I want to pay, no, don't do it, man, get paid. Like, I was like, okay, there's like a slight dynamic there. Least favorite is everybody else. I can't do it. Like, I really couldn't.
Everybody else.
Everybody.
Like, Amy was okay, but like said it, like I wish they developed her more to be even cooler. I'm like, cool. Meg was on this do it. Fuck her. Like, Kyohei again. Food Wars got dropped into a random ass anime full of titties. The crazy cop lady, the crazy cop who Joe,
Takane, I believe was the name.
Yeah, I was sitting there like I thought she was gonna be a threat, and then I heard that horrible ass accent, and my opinion went completely 180. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, nah, I can't do this. So that's why I said everyone else, like, least favorite, can't do it.
Yeah.
I am going through I think I found it. It was either episode 11, episode 12 when Takane and Joe met and they were in the interrogation room. This might have been like line of the series. It was like the interrogation. Like she's like, "The hell are you doing here? You seem pretty mad." I'm not mad. Crack pencil work. I was like, Joe is so fucking awesome. Like, whoever wrote for Joe specifically gave her like the best one-liners because it was like she was sitting there. Oh, you mad at me? Oh, your pencil broke. Like, I was like, I don't know what it was, but I genuinely laughed at that, and I was like, okay, this is redeeming quality in this shit. Touche. I say all that to lead to my rating of Burst Angel. I will give it a 3 out of 5.
Wow,
that's solid.
Like, I will like I have talked so much shit this whole time, but the redeeming qualities are Joe. Say when they actually give her enough time to actually do things in anime, and like the absurdity of it all. Like it was like a car crash you couldn't really keep away from. It was like, bro, there's aliens, robots, and all this other shit. But I want to see how it plays out. I was thoroughly disappointed how it played out, but all the same, like it was enjoyable for what it was. So I give it a 3.
All right, that's solid. That's way higher than what I agree, Stick.
Joe wasn't in the shit. Trust me, it would have been a 1. Like
definitely higher than what I plan to give it.
He gave that more than D and Angel.
True.
You gave D and Angel a 2.5.
That should be a fucking sign. Like, because I had never seen this anime all the way through.
And I would like to give Stick's Memory a rating of 5 stars.
5. That's the highest rating we give anything. It's a 5.
First of all, it wasn't memory. I did all the research earlier today.
Oh,
I went through each episode and what's called. That's it.
Well, you get 5 stars for research.
The research.
All right. That's solid though. Okay. All right. So, Stick, on to you. Favorite character, least favorite, and favorite episode. In your rating.
All right. So, favorite character, as Nisho said, like again, it's not close, bro. It's Joe. I've known this about myself for a long time. I like female or women gunslingers. I love gunslingers.
She was.
And again, we'll probably get to them. Joe, Revy. There's an anime called Keenan. That's another one.
Yeah.
Rated War Crawl. Like, I have a thing for female gunslingers. It's something about it that just is intriguing to me.
Women gunslingers.
Yeah, women. I keep saying female. I don't know why I keep saying that. Women gunslingers. Sorry for the female stuff earlier. But women gunslingers are this is an interesting dynamic or whatever, right? Plus, Joe has just got that sleepy look, that real. You know what she reminds me of, Nisho? She reminds me of Lightning from Final Fantasy 13.
Jesus Christ, what?
Real sleepy, but you know she's just like nobody wants to mess with her. She's just more powerful than everybody at any time. Like,
but Joe is a personality. There's a difference. Like Joe is a fucking personality.
Lightning had a personality. We're not here to do that.
I don't
Anyway,
think her team doesn't have a personality, but anyway, like.
Anywho, Joe had interesting moments, and that's really what draws you to her. As far as least favorite character, from just a pure like just voice, Kyohei is the worst character of all time. Like it's I don't think there has ever been an anime character with no purpose more than Kyohei. They introduced this man like he was about to be a central part of this entire.
That was it, yo.
And he did nothing. He did nothing. He served no purpose in his anime, and it was so frustrating to watch. From a it's part of the anime portion. I hate to say it, but Meg is Meg. If you took Princess Peach and Daphne from the Scooby-Doo game and you said, you know what, have a child, there's Meg right there. She's always in trouble. She's always complaining. It's almost like she's always getting kidnapped on purpose just so she can be saved. It's annoying. Like, within the first 5 episodes, she got kidnapped every single time. And it happened throughout the rest of the series. She has like 3 or 4 moments where she does something useful. And it's frustrating. And that's one of the things about this anime that is rough, is that if it's not a Joe-centric episode, they struggle to write it.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to do a Kyohei episode where his friend becomes an android. It wasn't great.
No. It was just out of place. It was like, why is this episode here?
You know what I'm saying? It didn't make any sense. They did the episode where Amy sneaks out with Kyohei. That was weird. I think they did a couple Say episodes, or they did a Say episode, and you want it's like they could have done more with her, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like they struggle. If it wasn't centered around Joe saving the day, they couldn't write it, and that just shows me that they only made this show because of Joe, and then added everyone else in later.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick a favorite episode, I'm always drawn to the episode where Meg goes in and poses as a high school girl.
Oh yeah.
So that early episode where it's the high school flick, and that's just an easy episode to write. It's like a real whodunit, like who's the mystery person who's actually, you know what I'm saying? So that was cool.
Yeah.
Seeing Joe in that ridiculous outfit, knowing that he was totally uncomfortable in it, was a fun little thing, right? You know what I'm saying? They did some fun stuff with the action, with the camera, how Meg saw the villain. It was like she was taking pictures, but it was coming at her quickly. So there was some things in that episode that were cool. Yeah, as far as the whole anime goes, man, I'm gonna give it the same thing I gave Yin and Angel, and I'm gonna give it a 1.5. Because I just feel like this anime tried to do so many different things, but never settle on an identity for itself.
Yeah, gotta agree.
It wanted to be a Western. It wanted to be about bounty hunters. It wanted to have like government plot. It wanted to have mech robot. It wanted to have, because no one else had a mech robot. Like it was just Joe. Like the other characters were just there, just to be there. Um, like they had portions. It I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of stuff in these shows, Nisho, where you can see what they did, but it's in a different anime.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm.
like you're like, oh, I see this episode. This is, for example, remember the episode where Joe is she meets up with the silent warrior or whatever,
Smart guy,
and
yeah.
he's trying to take down the what's called. What does that remind you of? Samurai Shampoo episode about when Yuki goes into the forest
Yeah.
with the one dude that's in the forest, and they're like, oh, this dude's a demon. He got outcasted because of whatever. And I'm like, that's a similar episode, but I've seen it done better. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's so many different portions. The Amy episode where she goes into the internet, that's just serial lane experimental, or you know what I mean?
I was thinking
It's
the same shit, yo. Oh my god. Like, I
that.
was like, did they really just rip fucking serial experiments? It's something
Lane, yes, exactly.
like,
There's so many different portions of Amy where I'm like, oh, I've seen this, but I've seen it better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just hard to watch it now, knowing I've seen this type of anime done better. And
Yeah.
so that's why the action's cool. I didn't really like the CGI a lot. It can kind of get kind of weird with it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just and then just the ending was weird. Just
oh my goodness.
the ending was weird. Like, oh, she has a sister, and then they fight, but then the sister's like, nah, I don't want to fight, and then you don't know what happens. You know what I'm saying? And then we don't know what happens, and it's
Literally.
just tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is tough. So I can't give it anything over a 1.5, honestly. And that's coming from somebody who did like it, and it was in my top 25 early when I started, but today it just can't be.
The evolution. Look how people grow and evolve. Look how people grow and evolve. That's amazing. All right, I guess it's my turn now.
Here we go.
So, most favorite character. I would like to go with everyone else and say that Joe is my favorite character. But I feel like I can't really say that because the other characters were so poorly written. Like, it's kind of like. It's just not fair. Like, huh?
I mean,
Like a default.
Yeah, it's just like she was the best written character. The whole show was about her, and she had all. I mean, she was the only one with an arc. She was the only one with any purpose. So it's like, and it's like the other characters had potential if they were written with some purpose. But I want to give her say she's my favorite, but it was just it's hard to say that because like I said, there's nothing. Of course, she's the best character in anime. She's the only character in the anime.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, in an alternate universe, I feel like had they like started the season off in the middle, like around episode 12, 13, 14, I feel like Maria, her twin robot thing, would have been one of my favorite characters because there was some complexity there. There was some layers, and they were pretty much clones of each other, but different skill levels, and everybody was like, well, Maria's technically, more powerful than Joe. Why did Joe win? And all this other stuff. And like that would have been a cool little line to develop there. Like I would like to see more of that, but because they wrote the story the way they did, she never got a chance to live out her full potential. So I can't even call her my favorite character. So I don't have a favorite character for this show, unfortunately. But shout out Joe. I did love Joe, and I would like a Joe figurine if I can find one. That would be nice. As far as least favorite characters, I'm really having a hard time not being like Nisho and saying everybody else, but like it wasn't their fault. My least favorite character, Daisuke Pickles. I'm sorry. It's probably the most pointless character I've seen in any show, any movie in my entire life. Like even extras in a TV show have more purpose than that guy had. Like, and I'm so
Bruh.
mad that he was in like the beginning episodes as if he was about to be like, I thought he was gonna like learn how to fight and help them out, or be
Nope.
like, you know, Alfred
Nope.
to them or something like that.
Get
No,
Jank.
he wasn't even in like half of the episode. It's like, where did Daisuke Pickles go? I don't even care.
It was a huge portion of that show where he just did not show up.
He just wasn't there. And I was just like, dog. And I was like, and then they kept pointing out that he wanted to go to culinary school. He wanted to be a chef. It's like, but you're not doing anything with that storyline. Like, what is the purpose of you telling us that he wants to be a chef? Like, what? Like, is he about to learn how to be like a assassin chef and he can throw knives at 200 miles? What is about to happen with this?
Food wars. That's what I'm
Yeah, that's actually where he went afterwards.
Yo,
saying. Now.
I feel like they tease because, like, on one part, on some point, they described the episode. I read a caption of the episode, and it said like, Daisuke has to learn something, or I was like, oh, this is the episode. This is when he's gonna break out and he gonna whoop some ass or something. Nah, it was.
So,
I forgot. It might have been the cyborg episode. It might have been something like
probably
he
the
has
A.
a child. Huh?
it was either probably the Amy episode where she sneaks out, or the one where his friend becomes
Yeah, it's
the
just like,
cyborg.
I just knew something was going to come up out of that, but it didn't. Other than that, everybody else I'm neutral on, because it was just bad. It's hard to, you know. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all got handed a bad deck with these writers. But yeah, most favorite, least favorite. My favorite episodes. So it's funny that y'all bring up the Amy episode, because I like that episode. I enjoyed that episode a lot, and
Okay.
I think it was because, not I think it was because, like, I was hoping for more Amy development. Like, I was hoping for more of what was going on with her. And then when they gave the episode where she like shows a part of her life, and Daisuke is like, somebody stop calling him Daisuke. Kyoe is like, you know, what is this? Where are we? Yada yada yada. And I definitely see where they ripped it from, because I mean, it's a bunch of other shows and animes where they go into like the digital world and stuff like that. And I don't know the anime that y'all were talking about specifically, but I've seen other places do it differently and do it better. But I enjoyed it a lot. I was also very inebriated when I watched the episode, so it hit me on a different level of consciousness. And then I really liked the episode where they talked about the origin of Meg and Joe's relationship, and I was like, I was, look, it was very cliche. It was a very cliche episode, but
It was out of place.
huh?
It was out of place only because, did y'all watch the OVA that was on there too?
Yeah, I watched
Nope.
that too.
So they could have just done that. They could have just combined that with the OVA, because
I
that
agree.
was like, it didn't make sense to put that in between there and then give me an OVA later, being like, oh, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was their first mission, so it was just weird how they structured it.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of out of place things. I think we all can agree in this show. And
What's up?
yeah, I'm realizing there's a thing with me, and that I like the stuff that was out of place. So they should copy and paste the stuff that was out of place and make them one thing that makes sense. It's just like,
Look at you finding the cohesiveness that you actually like in anime.
but yeah, because like that episode was the only thing that was for me like, oh, okay, this is why they're so close, and okay, this is how Joe got her start. All right, okay, all right. Some of this is starting to make sense. Not really, but it some things got answered for me in that. So with that said, my rating of this anime, I give it a half a star. 0.5. And I'm being very generous.
How did that generate?
is that a history making record right there? Is that the first?
It is. That is the first half star given
Jesus
ever.
Christ, Nick. God.
Like it's. Mm. So I don't think anyone should watch this anime. I don't think you should. I don't think you should. There's too many other good ones out here for you to spend your time with. Don't waste your time. We did it for you. Don't do that to yourself. Um, and the saving grace was Joe. Um, and the outro song. I hated the intro song, but the outro song was my
Oh,
bop.
interesting.
It was just. I give it to you. It was-
I'm gonna give it a message. I didn't like the soundtrack at all.
Oh, the soundtrack was
Oh, all
easily.
of the songs are horrible. Except, I'm sorry, I like the outro because it's like.
The melody fine. Her singing is terrible.
Oh, facts. Her singing is horrible, but the song
Her singing
cranks.
is awful.
It was like the other side of the Yu Yu Hakusho smile bomb for me. I was like, bro, this is literally the opposite. Bro.
Don't you ever compare Smile Bomb to this
I said
bullshit?
that's why I said the opposite, as in I'm not.
I fucks with the song. Singing horrible, yes. The song though, I've been singing it.
Hey,
So-
I've been singing it.
I've been singing it. I just be humming that chain at work. I be singing it. So between the song and Joe, it was able to get. Also, I really like that big old truck SUV camper thing they had. That was pretty neat.
oh, that
Wish
shit
I
was.
had one of those. It changed colors. It seemed like, which is kind of dope. Like 1 minute the jank was green, 1 minute it was brown, 1 minute it was blue, and 1 minute it was orange. Like, gotta change colors. And
Ice cream paint job.
pretty much. So sorry, Burst Angel. The animation wasn't even good enough to save because usually that's what bumps something up for me when I want to rate it down. Like Space Dandy was a rough one, even though I went back and started watching it again. So maybe it was a little bit better than I gave it credit for. Yeah, though,
Ooh.
maybe. But the graphics in that jank were so good. I mean, I know it was made later, so more recent. But like the drawing in that one is just so beautiful. Like I could just look at pictures of Space Dandy and just
Oh, yeah.
enjoy it. But this one was just average, just average drawing. And like you said, the CGI, it was a little bit much. I think they did too much with the movements in some parts. It almost made me feel like I had to wear 3D glasses to like get the full effect, even though it's not a 3D show at all. But it was 2004, so you can't be too harsh on things drawn in 2004, and I can't draw at all, so I'm not gonna be harsh on
Actually,
it.
we actually we watched anime from 2000 in that era, and
I
they had
know.
better animation.
That's
You mean
true.
like Gene?
I mean,
No, not like DNA.
wait, which one was, so the early 2000 ones we watched was DNA Angel,
Death Note,
Death Note.
Samurai Champloo's around that time.
Okay.
Those are two animes with very good animation.
Okay. Yeah, so they have no excuse, actually.
Yep.
It's really about the studios, and anime.
Yeah, it
that they
True.
like Gonzo usually has decent animators. I just don't know what they went with it.
Maybe it was somebody like student project and they just let it rock. Like,
This shit got hired at the one.
it's an intern project. but yeah, everybody, thank you for dealing with us and our antics. This was a good time. By the time you see this, I forgot where my train of thought was going. Oh, but anyway, by the time you see this, we will be watching the next anime, which I believe it's Nisho's turn to suggest an anime.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Nisho, it is your turn. So if you have it ready, you can announce it now if you would like. Okay.
I
Here
do.
we go.
I do have it ready. So, given the horrid response to the last one I picked, no, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, this anime is actually from another studio that of an anime that we already watched, but I've yet to watch this at all. I feel like this would be a dope watch. Like it'll give us a drastic change from First Angel. Because I feel like there might be some cohesiveness to it. Like legit, I know nothing about this, so I'll be going in blind too. We will be watching Mob Psycho 100.
Okay. Season 1?
There's more than one season?
I believe so.
I literally just know season 1. Like I didn't know there's
Let's
more.
we'll research it later tonight and see.
Okay. Mob Psycho 100.
Mob
I
Psycho
mean,
100. Okay.
that sounds like a huge change of pace, and it sounds like something I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah. And again, the animation studio did one of the earlier animes we watched, so that's why I suggested. I'm like, I feel like visually this shit's gonna pop. So
Yeah,
If I remember, it's very trippy.
I like
We're gonna-
trippy.
Just from some like visuals like I've seen, it's very trippy. So I'm with it.
Have we watched anything that has been similar to it yet?
I would say the closest thing is probably Kill la Kill, right, Nish?
between Kill la Kill and Space Dandy.
Okay, so it's in that area. All right.
Because I don't know the same studio did Death Note or not. I gotta look into it myself. But.
Okay. All right, and y'all heard it. We are watching Mob Psycho 100. Shout out to Stick for this past month's recommendation, which was
No, you're not. I hate you for it.
no, actually, I was about to say something. I was going to say thank you for suggesting an anime that you knew that would be kind of because like I think that's important that we don't just watch animes that we know that everyone's going to enjoy it, or at least
Right.
think highly of. I think it's fun to one see what y'all were watching back in y'all younger days, and then two is I think it gives us like a wide range of stuff to compare. Especially, I mean, I'm speaking for me actually, so I don't know who us is, but it gives me a good like sample base and a good scale of animes, and to learn what I like and I don't like and stuff. So I appreciate all the anime suggestions, good, bad, in between. And I mean, I still think you had it out for us with that one. And it's okay. Whatever I did to you, I apologize. I didn't mean it. It wasn't on purpose.
I too feel victimized by Stick's choice.
I simply wanted to revisit it. I've always wanted to go back to see how I felt about it and if anything had changed. Things have changed.
Solid.
To be fair, for some reason, that has like a 7.1 out of 10 on like a lot of different sites.
Where?
I'm telling you what I've seen, bro. It just says 7.1 out of 10. I don't know why. I'm just telling you what they told me. I assume a bunch of kids from middle school are doing all the reviews. I don't know. One last quick point. We're not gonna talk about how Meg turned into Chun-Li for one episode.
Yeah, I must have fell asleep on that episode. I'm not gonna lie, I must have.
That was the only time she wasn't completely annoying. She got mind controlled by some random chi blocking bullshit.
Was that one of the episodes between like 7 and 10? Was it one of those episodes?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think I fell asleep on that whole thing, and I never went back to watch them. So 7 and 10 is like non-existent to me.
No,
it's a haze.
Hey, but that would have been nice to see. Dang, maybe that would have been my favorite episode. Actually see Meg whoop some ass, yo. Man, she didn't even know how to move a gat, yo. She didn't even know how to. Joe could have told her something, like,
This was Meg's.
Joe was busy doing other things.
Save me. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cook the wall.
Oh, no, my bad. I was just saying Joe was too busy doing other things for Meg.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're nasty. Jesus.
She's like, I may
Stop
not
forgetting to
be.
let home. Not the way you were thinking.
Oh,
I
Nisho's mind is in the gutter. It's all good though.
mean, why wouldn't it be after this insanity that we watch?
Yeah. It's like they tried to recreate my homie Mako, even though that one came after that one. But I'm just saying.
Nah, Nick, that's a good. No, that's a comparison though. That's a really good.
It was the same thing. Yeah.
But like Mako, she didn't complain as much.
Had a fucking
And
person.
Mako was supportive in the right ways. You know, she was
Mako
like,
was expensive.
you said what?
She was getting dirty. Mako
Yeah,
was
she
actually
did.
getting dirty.
That too.
Meg was just getting captured every other damn episode.
Yeah, she was like a cheerleader that didn't mind playing football every now and then, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Mako, still my favorite anime character of all time so far. So nobody has taken the rank from Mako. Shout out young Mako, yo.
Mako.
But all right, y'all. This is the official end. Thank you so much for tuning in. Can't wait to see you next month. If you're watching this, make sure you go watch Mob Psycho 100 and join the Discord, which is will be in the link of wherever you the caption. The link will be in the caption of wherever you watching this. And I'm tired, so adios, people. I'ma hit the record button.